All right, what is going on, Royals fans? We're going to get into this past week of Royals baseball. I'm going to break that down. But before we get into that, I'm going to wait for some people to get in here. I don't want to repeat myself. The Royals are painful enough to talk about once. Why do it twice? Again, this is probably going to be a shorter stream. I want some people to get in here, ask some questions, and we'll kind of just run things down. But a tough week for Royals fans. It is not been fun recently, but once we start winning again, it'll be fun to be a Royals fan again. But baseball's a long season. I understand that. There's 162 games, and we are about a month in or so. But this team has collapsed, and I've been kind of calling it for a long time now. I've been on the side of the Royals are eventually going to hit that wall. It was too good to be true. We were playing too well at the time to expect that to continue the rest of the season. It just wasn't going to happen. I thought that it would take longer for us to lose a 10-game lead, but no, it didn't take that long. It only took about a week. Last time that I talked to you guys, the Royals were on an 8-game losing streak. They then kicked off the week by getting swept by the Detroit Tigers in Detroit, the worst team in baseball by the numbers. They have the worst record. You got swept in Detroit. You had an 11-game losing streak. I was just like, you know what? Just put me out of my misery. It was bad. It was ugly. It wasn't fun to watch. And the main reason why I'm so frustrated is I feel like, in previous years, we've had some pretty bad Royals teams. Let's be honest. We saw back-to-back 100-loss seasons. I'm under the impression that if you did play a full season last year, you're probably losing 100 games in 2020. Maybe you lose 90 or maybe you lose 95, but I just thought that team just wasn't that good. And then this year, you come out and you play fantastic baseball to start off with. You got guys like Carlos Santana and Andrew Benintendi, people who you acquired in the offseason. They're performing. They're playing well. And I thought, okay, this team's looking good. And it was a little bit odd to see because this team has not got off to a good start in, I want to say 3 or 4 years. But I was like, okay, we're starting to get better. It's good to see. But all it took was 1 week to completely take us out of that rhythm. And it's kind of sad how far that we've fallen from grace. At the time of this recording, May 16th, let me check to be 100% sure, because I know we are under 500. I believe we're 4 games under 500. We are 18-22, 4 games below 500. We have, I think, let me check that to be quite sure. So we are third in the Central. We were first in the Central just like a week ago. We are third in the Central, and we have a whopping 6.5 games back to even be in first place to begin with. So, as Brandon Rogers said, I've been calling it for multiple weeks, but I just didn't think it was going to happen that quickly. I really thought that, hey, maybe they're going to lose around the All-Star break. Maybe that we'll start to see this team lose a couple series, and it'll just kind of add up. And it's like, all right, I'm okay with that. If that's the way that we go out, at least we go out by losing to superior teams. But it didn't end up working like that. You got swept by a lot of the very good teams and a lot of the really bad ones. I think the Tigers pretty much had their way with us the past 2 weeks, and the Twins beat us. The White Sox just destroyed us. And so let's get into this week of Royals baseball. So, like I said, it started off the week. We got swept by the Detroit Tigers in Detroit. That was a tough series because honestly, we should have won a couple of those games. The first game we lost 8-7, and I'll never forget. I was sitting there watching it like I always do, and Jorge Soler came up with the bases loaded, or there was 2 on and 2 out or something like that. So I was like, okay, we're in a good position here. I know Jorge Soler can hit the ball. I kind of expected something deep. A new pitcher came in the game, so I was like, all right, maybe he gets a hold of one. Maybe he can tie this game up. And he ended up hitting a bases-clearing double. I was like, okay, it's 7-7. And then you proceeded in the bottom of the 9th inning to let the Tigers walk you off. So it's just like we can't be consistently good on both sides of the game, offense or defense, or our pitching. Our pitching is either really good, like there's some nights where Brady Singer, like today, Brady Singer pitched 7 innings of 2-run ball. And you lost on a walk-off Jose Abreu wild pitch. That's how you decided to lose this game. So it's really tough. The Royals, fortunately, they lost those three first games of the week in Detroit. So they had an 11-game losing streak, and finally they put an end to that by beating the White Sox 6-2 on Friday. But they lost the first game of the doubleheader, or they lost the second game of the doubleheader. And then they won last night 5-1 with Mike Minor pitching. Pretty good performance by him. I was happy to see what he did. And then today, I felt like you should have won that game. And who knows? If you win this game, which everything was pointing towards it. And, I'm a huge Wade Davis fan. I love the dude a lot from what he did back in 14 and 15. He's just not it anymore. And it hurts to say that because I really like him, but it's just the truth. He's just not the good reliever that I thought that he could be. So it's tough to lose those games because it's like you were 3 outs away. You had the lead in the bottom of the 9th inning and you choked it. And I feel like that's why the Royals losing all these games. It's the bullpen. The bullpen was pretty good last year. And honestly, that was kind of a surprise because in 2019, it was horrendous. And you turn around this year, and I don't know the numbers off the top of my head. I couldn't frankly tell you where we rank in terms of bullpen ERA. I couldn't tell you pretty much anything about our bullpen, but I just know that it has very few pitchers that pass the eye test. Greg Holland, a lot of his outings, he's okay. He labors a lot. Like today, he had like 41 pitches, and he just barely got through the bottom of the 8th inning. So the Royals almost blew this game multiple times, and finally they ended up doing it. But, it's just like both sides can't play good baseball. I feel like the offense is really struggling. I know that the numbers might not show it, but I don't really think 3 runs a game is enough. Not with this pitching staff. And I just think that you're either going to get a very good pitching performance by Brady Singer, Danny Duffy. It sure as hell isn't Brad Keller. So you're either going to get a good pitching performance and a terrible offensive performance, or the offense goes out like they did in that game in Detroit and they put up 7 runs and they still lose. It's just like they can't be consistent. And that's honestly what's such a big killer is I feel like normally I'm not really upset with the Royals losing because you kind of get used to it. It's like, all right, this is a rebuild. We got to understand that we're still a few pieces away. But I just feel like this team shouldn't have excuses to lose. Like, I understand that, to be fair, no one expected this team to be any good this year. But after the start that you did have, even though I did pretty much say that we were going to fall off, I expected it to take longer. I mean, this team in a week and a half is now 4 games under 500, and they're likely going to stay under that mark. And I think that they're going to struggle for a lot of this season. Hopefully they can prove me wrong and come out of that. You got a 2-game series coming up here really quickly at home against the Brewers. That'll be not fun because the Brewers are one of the better teams in the NL. You play the Tigers at home for a 3-game series. Then you go to Tampa Bay to play the Rays. So you got a few good series coming up here really quickly. I know my last live stream, before this one, so last week, I was talking about, hey, maybe we can get back on track and end this 8-game losing streak against the Tigers, and they ended up sweeping us. So I was completely wrong about that, and it's kind of crazy how off and on this team is because I thought, to be quite honest with you, after losing that Detroit series, getting swept, I thought we were going to just get destroyed in this White Sox series, and they split it. I mean, you should have won it today by 3-1. You should have had that series in the bag, but even though that they didn't, they still split with the White Sox, who are first in the Central, who are expected to win the Central, and who are a bona fide playoff team. At the end of the day, you did your job in this series. Even though we would have liked a different outcome today, they still did enough. I mean, in this series, they were playing better baseball than they have in the past week and a half. But, it's why I set my expectations so drastically low coming into the season, because honestly, this team could still lose 100 games. I mean, I don't think that they will, but they could. And honestly, I think that it's sad that after the start that we had, if we got 70 to 75 wins, that would be a successful season for the Royals. We would mark that as a successful season. And, I understand that we're not quite there yet. The rebuild's still going to need a bit more time, but I don't think you have the excuse to lose this year like you do in years prior. I mean, this team has more talent than any Royals team that we've had in the past 2 or 3 years. And I just feel like if they could just be more consistent and play to the level of which I know that they are capable of playing, they'd be a wild card team. And maybe they can do that in the future. I highly doubt it, considering how fast they fell from grace. But it's just like, if you can just be consistent and string a few good series together, that's all you need to get back in it. And I'm sorry I'm kind of being a downer right now, but I've just seen this story before. I've seen the Royals fall in these type of holes, and they just kind of give up. I mean, I hope they don't give up. Obviously, you don't want to see your team give up because that just makes it a boring product to watch. But I've seen this story before. I've seen this situation before, and it tends to not get better. So maybe I'm wrong. But again, let's ask some questions today. A shorter stream. I'll try to go about 20, 30 minutes today. More Chiefs videos are in the works. I'd like to apologize. I've been kind of lacking in the Chiefs department. If you guys got any Chiefs video ideas, let me know. We're so close to 6K on the channel. I'll be doing a special 6K stream when we hit that goal. I'll try to do more Royals and Chiefs live streams. I'd like to do more or get back to my Friday night Chiefs live streams because I've just been ending those and I haven't really been doing them. So I'll try to do those again and full steam ahead to 6K and hopefully 7K, 8K, 9K, and 10K by the end of the year. Let's see. If you guys have any Chiefs video ideas, let me know too, because I still need to record about Mike Hughes, the cornerback that we traded for. I just haven't gotten around to it. I've actually been working on a special little project that involves kind of my career going forward. So I'm excited to talk about that, but I want to make sure that I get it first because it's kind of something that I don't want to spoil. So Baseball Kid 2004, Staumont, Zuber, Barlow, freaking Jake Brents, and we chose Wade Davis to get the save against the best lineup in baseball. Yeah, honestly, I think Matheny, I understand on the broadcast, they talk about it all the time that, oh, Matheny doesn't have any certain bullpen roles and there's not really a defined closer. You need to define one. You're like 2 months into the season. You obviously, anyone that's a true Royals fan or anyone that has watched any Royals baseball for the past 2 years could tell you that Staumont should be the closer. He has one of the best fastballs in the game. He has an electric curveball, great off-speed pitches, and he can get outs and strikeouts, which is what you need of a closer. Don't get me wrong. I loved Wade Davis. I thought that he was just the Terminator. I mean, you guys know he's my favorite Royals playoff pitcher, or my favorite Royals pitcher of all time. That's how much I like Wade Davis. But let's be honest here. We brought back Holland and Davis in the hope that they could turn into being something similar to their old form, and they're not going to. It's just too many years have passed, and I just don't think that they're capable of getting back to that point. But I think that Davis is solid as like a mid-relief guy, but I don't want to see him in that closing spot. We were doing well, but it went downhill. 11 losing games. Frankly, I'm glad that we won today. We didn't win today. We did not win today. We should have won today, but Wade Davis decided to give up 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning, so we did not win today. What's up, G. Sean? Tony, again, I really didn't think this through, and again, I was expecting a victory. Yep. What's up, Ty Walker? Ty Walker says, pitching sucks, batting sucks. The only people that are producing for us is Witt, Santana, Bubich, Holland, and Perez. We need Soler to heat up. Soler's capable of doing more. I've been very disappointed with Hunter Dozier. We gave him a contract extension coming into this year, and the dude has done practically nothing. And it's really sad. And honestly, I think that if we keep seeing this little production, Bobby Witt might be on his way up. I want to see some of these younger guys get the chance and the opportunity to come up and play some games. We might as well see what they can do now. Sounds like Mahomes will be calling the Royals front. He should be. Dude could do better than what we're doing right now. Let's see. In that 4-game series against Cleveland, in the last 3 straight games of the series, the Royals had like a 3-run lead going into the 6th inning. And in each game, we've lost every one. Yeah, I mean, this team is having a big problem closing out games. And I don't think that that's honestly all of Matheny's fault. It is because he's doing a horrendous job in some instances of controlling the bullpen. I think that sometimes you got to bite the bullet and go with somebody that maybe you don't think should be in that position, but he should be in that position. Like I said, Josh Staumont should have been the closer today. And if he was, you would have won this game. It's just that plain and simple. But sometimes it takes a loss for a manager to realize it's like, okay, we can't really do that again. Nick Bolton hype video. We can do that. Sounds like the Royals fell in the LA pretty much. Looks like I'm going to go to the Green Bay game at Arrowhead this season in week 9. Hopefully Rogers stays so I can see that matchup with Patrick. I hope so. That'll be a good game. And I'm going to try to get to training camp this year if they have it and it's available to the public. So I hope that I can make it out there, but at the same time, I don't know how all those COVID stuff restrictions will work, but we'll see. I hope we can somehow get a wild card, but I'm not counting on it. That's about the best message I've seen all day. Honestly, my expectations you can see it week by week. I have been very, unfortunately, I was like, oh my gosh, this team might be able to make the playoffs. This team, if they can keep it up, if they can keep beating divisional opponents, they might be able to make the playoffs and maybe win the division. And then in a week, we get swept by the Indians. We get swept by the Tigers. We get just destroyed by the White Sox. It's honestly sad how fast my confidence just came crashing down. Are you going to the Master Work stream tonight? I might. I know he's talking about EDP, but let's go. Let's see. I think Bulldozer is hurt. Also, Mahomes for the closer. I think Dozier collapsed or collided rather with Jose Abreu on that one play, and that's kind of why he hasn't been playing. So when do you think the Royals will actually start winning again? That's tough to say. It depends what you mean by winning also, because winning is a very broad term, because technically we're going to start winning a few games here and there later this season, but like actually like competing for a playoff spot, I would say that that's not going to happen until, depending on what we see next year. I think Bobby Witt's going to need some time to kind of develop at the major league level. The pitching prospects are coming up. Honestly, I wouldn't say it'd be out of speculation to say that we could be a competing team in baseball by 2023. And 2024 is kind of a year that we should expect this team to make the playoffs. I mean, I know that we're still in the rebuild, but like we've got most of it done. Most of the rebuild is done. We just need to put these players up at the major league level and let them go to work. What's up, Isaac? Good to see you. If you have been vaccinated, there's no mask mandate for you. Oh, that's great, because I have been vaccinated, so I will be able to attend then. Modesty's just disappeared into the freaking moonlight. Yeah, I saw Modesty hit a home run today. I think he's in AA or maybe it is AAA. I'm not too sure, but he needs to come back because we need his spark in this offense. You know, a lot of people think that Nikki Lopez is worth keeping up here because he's solid at defense and he's a good bunter, which, don't get me wrong, I think that having a very good guy that can lay down a bunt is a underappreciated aspect of the game. I think that players that bunt normally are very valuable to a team, but he doesn't hit enough for what this team needs. I understand that he hits at the end of the order, but we need something from him. And in my opinion, I think that Mondesty's probably going to take his job back. And it just hopefully Modesty can be productive. And if Modesty can be consistent, if Modesty can just be consistent, this team would have that spark plug towards the end of the lineup. He kind of hit 8 or 9 most times, because then you'd have like Mondesi, Witt, and then Benintendi kind of in a nice little a nice little 3-man roll. Let's see. What the Royals need is one of those Soler Flex pack. We need a Soler Flex bomb right now. He almost hit one out today, and it got caught just at the warning track, which was tough. What do you think Casey draft picks is going to start next NFL season? You know, I made a video about this, Isaac. That was actually, I think, the only video I made this week. Creed Humphrey is going to be a day one starter, in my opinion. And I think that maybe Nick Bolton can. I think if Nick Bolton does play, he's going to be an outside linebacker opposed to the middle linebacker position in which he does play. But I think that Creed Humphrey is the safest bet. Isn't Mahomes partial owner of the Kansas City Royals baseball team? He is. He's very. People always say, "Oh, you guys got Mahomes. I hope he dishes out a couple of that $1 million to get you guys a good player." Well, it doesn't really work like that. He owns a very small percentage of the team, so he really doesn't have that much influence. It's kind of just to say that he has a stake claim in an organization in which he lives in. So it's cool to have him as an owner, and I think that it's definitely something for him to put on his portfolio, so to speak. But he doesn't really do anything. He'll go to the games, but John Sherman and Dayton Moore are the ones that are actually calling the shots, at least in this situation. But, Mahomes is the owner in the same way that who is the Chiefs fan that I should know this? He's in Modern Family. I haven't seen Modern Family, but you guys, let me know in the comments. You guys know who it is. I can't remember off the top of my head. Man. It's not Rob Riggle. It's the other dude. But he has a part ownership in the Royals as well. And he's just kind of just doing that to keep his money in the community. This series actually made me hopeful that 11-game streak was just an outlier and Modesty will help the part of the order after Soler. Thoughts? That's a very good point, Luke. I kind of did say that earlier in the stream that this was a somewhat encouraging series because you were 3 outs away from taking a series from the White Sox 3-1, which is a very good accomplishment due to the fact that they're one of the best teams in the AL and they're for sure the best team in the division right now. So going from getting swept by them at home to almost winning a series on their home turf, it's good. It's a very good thing. But, they didn't get it done. And I guess right now, from a Royals perspective, we kind of got to look at it as small baby step successes. Like, I guess that's a success. They split a series against the White Sox. But the baseball fan of me and the Royals fan of me who saw 2014, 2015, and 2016, that they're capable of doing more. And this team and this franchise, we are accustomed to more winning. At least recently than what we've seen. So I'd like them to get back on track. And I think that this series is a good stepping stone to get back to winning. Yep. Thank you, Isaac. It is Eric Stone Street. I do not know why I could not remember that. When is Modesty coming back? I believe he's coming back in maybe I've seen some reports that he might come back in like less than a week. The fact that he's playing some games, like I said, he hit a bomb today. At AA. So I don't think that he's going to be out that much longer, and it'll be good to get him back. So, guys, we're probably going to wrap this up in like 2 or 3 minutes. Get your questions in. I'll try to answer those. And like I said, if you guys have any Chiefs or Royals content that you do want to see, let me know down in the comments below. I'll try to get to as much as I can. The video process has been kind of slow recently. I've been trying to up the quality, get better at it. So, it's been somewhat of a struggle to get consistent content out, but I got to keep pushing. Like I said, we got big goals for the end of the year. I want to hit 10K, and I think that we are more than capable of hitting that goal. So we're going to put everything in that basket and just go for it. I will say, however, though, that the Royals are probably going to get off to a good start this week. I know that you got a 2-game series against the Brewers. I think that if you split that, you're good. And I think that they're going to have some revenge against the Tigers. I'm not saying they're going to sweep them or anything like that, but I do think, however, that they are going to get some revenge on them and at least win that series. So it'll be good to see, and I will be interested to see what happens. Hopefully they can get back on the winning ways, and if they can, like I said, I was wrong to think that this team could be a playoff team, that they could even win the division. That was just wrong. It was just flat out wrong, and I admit that, unfortunately, but I've also been saying for a long time that this team was going to hit a wall, and they've hit the wall. And, when you hit the wall, you just got to put it in reverse and try to dig your way out of it. But the Royals cannot keep digging themselves in holes because it's just going to make it that much harder to get out of it. So It's really Ash, don't remind me, bro. I know we lost the game against the White Sox. We shouldn't have lost this game. Honestly, Whit Merrifield made a throw to get out a runner and that made it 2 outs in the 9th inning. And I was like, okay, good. But I still thought, okay, I sincerely doubt we're going to win this game. And then Jose Abreu ended up scoring on a wild pitch. I mean, Jose Abreu is not known for his speed, not known for his athleticism, not known for his speed at all. So it's unfortunate that that's the way that we went out, but you got to get over it. Should the NFL invest in the XFL? Do they or could they use it as a developmental league or rehab where teams can call up guys to play? I think that'd be a good idea. You know, the NBA has a G League. Baseball has the minors, obviously, AA, single A, triple A. The NFL is the only professional sports league that I can think of that doesn't really have a minor system. You know, they got the practice squad, but let's be honest here. If you're on the practice squad, there is a very, and I mean very little chance that you're ever going to make the active roster. And if you do, you're not going to play. So it's kind of how that's just kind of how it works. I think that it'd be a good idea for them to possibly pick that up. I know that, didn't The Rock just buy that, if I'm correct? So I wouldn't be against it, and I think that that'd be a good move as well. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to end up and wrap it up this stream. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. I know that we didn't get a ton of people in today, but you guys will see it after this gets posted. Hit that like button, comment, and subscribe for more Chiefs and Royals content. We're actually by default the biggest Royals channel on YouTube, so that's a big time win. I appreciate you guys for watching this video as always. You can follow me on Instagram. That's KC_sports report. Twitter is actually at KC Sports Report. I don't really use Twitter, but I'm starting to use it a little bit more. Build up my following on multiple different social medias. You can buy the merchandise. The link is in the description. You can get this nice Lenny Dawson hoodie. We got more KC Sports Report merchandise. I got to design a new logo, get some new designs out. But with that being said, I appreciate all you guys watching. And with that being said, go Royals. And hopefully they can bounce back from this tough week. And if they can, hopefully we can just start to see some winning baseball. So with that being said, have a great rest of your Sunday night and go Royals.